Hello everyone. Today I want to talk about the new helmet that I have been using for the past 2 weeks. This is the POC Arctic SL 360 helmet with SPIN technology. SPIN stands for shearing pads inside. My other helmet is a Bell Super 3R which has Mips, multiple impact protection system. They're both basically the same, but it's just a different branding. They both use angular impact mitigation system.
Mips versus SPIN. Both Mips and SPIN have a low friction layer. The Mips uses a thin movable liner. The SPIN uses silicone injected gel pads. Both these technologies will decrease the rotational forces during a crash. POC claims that their SPIN also has an extra benefit of decreasing linear force. Imagine throwing a ball into the water versus throwing it on the pavement. That water acts like the gel pads in decreasing the forces which could severely impact the brain tissues.
Just a 2 millisecond change can help decrease the translational forces that can cause the white and gray matter to shift due to their differing densities. Both are excellent helmets in this regard. I talked about the Bell helmet with Mips in another video, and you can check that out in my YouTube channel. The POC helmet has a breakaway maxillary chin guard. First thing you notice when you are looking at this, that the chin guard looks pretty flimsy compared to my Bell Super 3R helmet. Is the chin guard as effective or strong as my Bell helmet? Absolutely not. I will be doing a little mod on this chin guard later on to reinforce the strength. This chin guard has a fidlock system, but it allows you to remove it even with a glove. So that's a pretty convenient system. So why get this helmet then if the chin guard is not as strong as my Bell Super 3R? Well, for one reason, when I'm riding around the town at even 15 to 20 miles per hour, it's not as aggressive. I don't want to scare the ladies on the stroller or make the cops think twice. Although I ride all around my town and the cops are okay with me. What about riding with one-wheelers who are just more laid back and going at 15 to 20 miles per hour? I look overdressed wearing my Bell Super 3R. This looks a lot more laid back, a lot more casual. It doesn't look like I care much about safety, but in reality, I actually do. So coming right out of the box, this is very premium, and you get what you pay for. The helmet is made of an ABS shell, very durable, very premium, very shiny, very slippery. If you want ventilation, you get the ventilation, all the ventilation that you want. For summertime, I can see this being very comfortable. In the winter time, if I don't want too much ventilation, you can seal it up here. There you go. No ventilation. Your head will be warm for skiing or snowboarding, whatever is your fancy. So for the summertime, I will have the ventilation. This took a while to connect this chin guard, but once you finally get the hang of it, it's very fixed. This is a no-release chin guard, this one that I chose. There are 3 different versions. There's one that is low release, there is one that is high release for adults, and no release. I chose the no release chin guard. This skateboard rider was quite lucky despite wearing no gear.
Oh my God.
He landed obliquely versus directly on his side, which prevented a clavicular fracture. This side landing also prevented his head from directly hitting the ground. His thick tuft of hair acted like a Mips spin effect in that it had a low friction layer and also absorbed some of the impact to prevent a traumatic brain injury. When the head hits the ground, a coup-contra-coup effect occurs, whereas the brain first hits the skull and because the cerebrospinal fluid is more dense and having greater momentum than the brain, causes the brain to shift to the opposite side for a rebound injury. So what happens when the brain gets shifted? Blood vessels can burst, the axons between the white and gray matter can get sheared and damaged in a syndrome called diffuse axonal injury. Usually there is loss of consciousness post-crash. Symptoms can be headache, disorientation, nausea or vomiting, drowsiness, trouble with sleeping, loss of balance or dizziness. Other end of spectrum is persistent vegetative state and death. After a bad crash, it is important to get a CT of the head to rule out vascular bleed. If CT is negative and neurological symptoms are relatively mild, then it is most important to rest for at least 2 weeks. This POC chin guard looks adequate to prevent a faceplant. Can this thin chin guard survive the impact of rapid deceleration? I have seen slalom skiers faceplant, and the POC chin guard, to my surprise, actually was still intact. However, I needed more reassurance. I bought a used chin guard from another POC model helmet. I got it on eBay. It only cost me $18, cuz. Anyway, I spray painted it, then attached it to my chin guard.
So, here is my mod of the POC chin guard. Using another chin guard, I was able to reinforce the strength as well as make it look aesthetically appealing. At least that's how I see it anyway. What do you guys think? The helmet mod still feels light, and I do not notice the difference in weight at all. Will this chin guard be as strong as my Bell 3R chin guard? Hell no. Do I feel reassurance with this reinforcement? Absolutely. I don't think this POC mod is a substitute for a true full face helmet like my Bell 3R in protecting against a faceplant. Therefore, if you do try this mod, just know full well that it might not be as fully protective as a true full face helmet. I will be using this on my mellow rides and not looking so aggressive and possibly intimidating. However, for the NYC and New Jersey crew rides, the Bell 3R helmet is the way to go. Thanks for watching, and until next time.